A lot to talk about today. I'm live on TikTok and on YouTube. Okay, YouTube's right here. TikTok's right here. As you guys are coming in, let me welcome you in. Let me know where you guys are watching from. If you're watching from TikTok, if you're watching the replay, let me know where you are watching from, okay? We have a lot to talk about today. Okay, thank you for the likes. Yes, like the video as you come in. Let me know where you guys are watching from. I hope that you guys are having a beautiful day and you guys have had an amazing start to the new year. We're gonna talk about perimenopause and what it has to do with fibroids. You guys know I typically talk about fibroids a lot on this channel, on my page, a lot. And the women that follow me, most of the women that follow me have fibroids or some other related uterine issues such as endometriosis, adenomyosis, right? Ovarian cyst, heavy bleeding, any type of uterine issue. So today we're going to talk about what that has to do, what does fibroids have to do with perimenopause? And the reason why I want to talk about this because I made a post not too long ago, a few days ago on Facebook that kind of went semi-viral. And a lot of people some people were mad, some people agreed with what I said, how I was saying that when it comes to perimenopause, right, that has been pushed to the forefront. And perimenopause, in case you guys don't know, is not inevitable. A lot of us think that it has to happen. You have to have a hormonal breakdown in your body at the age of 40, and that is not true. What perimenopause really is that you're dealing with hormonal imbalances and toxin overload in the body. It is not a natural part of life, okay? It is not. It's been fed as a natural part of life by health professionals, by society, to make women think, number one, that something's wrong with them. To make women think that something's wrong with them after the age of 40. Their body just breaks down and out of nowhere. And that's not true. Your body does not break down at the age of 40 or 45 out of nowhere. It's based on how you've treated your body over decades to come. So we're going to talk about that because when it comes to perimenopause, women that have fibroids in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, I want y'all to listen up because they go through the worst perimenopausal symptoms. And they don't understand that it's related. So one of the women that tried to argue with me about perimenopause actually had fibroids. And I'm like, of course you have perimenopausal symptoms and they're horrible because you have fibroids and you haven't addressed the root cause. So it's really important so we're going to talk about it today. If you guys are dealing with fibroids or any womb issue and you are in your 20s, 30s, 40s, even 50s, y'all need to listen up because this perimenopausal thing is becoming an epidemic and women don't understand what's really going on with their body. So I'm gonna do a lot of educating today, okay? Thank you guys for the likes. Thank you, Jessica Empowered, for the likes. Make sure our goal today is, let's say 15,000 likes. I know we can do it, okay? I know we can do it, okay? So again, if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and you have fibroids, and you're starting to experience heavy cycles, irregular cycles, hair thinning, insomnia, hot flashes, you just randomly start sweating out of nowhere, this live stream is for you. Or even if you haven't started experiencing that yet, this live stream is for you, okay? Because what most women don't understand is that perimenopause and fibroids are related. Perimenopausal symptoms and fibroids are related. Okay, Sadian, thank you for your comment. You're in the right place. Ladies, let me know where you guys are watching from. Let's comment. If you're dealing with fibroids, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. And just in case you see me looking over here, I'm on YouTube and I'm on TikTok. Put a 1 in the chat. Insomnia. Okay. That's definitely one of the main perimenopausal symptoms. Okay. Insomnia. Okay. So you guys also have fibroids as well. Okay. So you're in the right place. If you guys don't address the root causes of these issues now, you're setting yourself up for 10 to 20 years of hell. And some of you guys are already experiencing that hell. Okay. And blocked tubes. Okay. Thank you for letting me know, Sadian. Some of you guys are already experiencing that hell. So if you don't get to the root cause of these issues now, you're in for a wild ride. And it's not fun. You see how women are literally breaking down due to having perimenopausal symptoms and not understanding that they can control it. When your body is going through hormonal shifts like that, it's because your body is overloaded. Your elimination, I'm going to talk about it later. Your elimination organs are overloaded. The liver is overloaded. Your body cannot metabolize estrogen and waste properly like it's supposed to. It's overloaded. It needs your help and it needs your support. And women are saying that it's a natural part of life. They're being lied to. No, it's not. As somebody, and just in case you guys are new, as somebody that's worked with many, how to control, we won't talk about that, but as somebody that has worked with many women in their 30s, 40s, 50s, over the years, hundreds, not just to shrink and dissolve their fibroids, not just to reverse endometriosis, adenomyosis, not just to get rid of ovarian cysts, also to completely get rid of their hormonal issues. So women that come to me that think they're in perimenopause, they leave with their hormones balanced. They leave with none of the symptoms, okay? So if they were experiencing, the irregular periods, heavy periods, insomnia, those are all, like I said, those are all, their information. Your hormones are not there to fall apart. They're responding to the environment in your body. They're responding to the inflammation. They're responding to the accumulation of waste in the body. They're responding to your body being in a chronic state of stress. Okay? They're responding. They're not there to break apart after you turn a certain age. And that they tell that lie to women. So let's talk about it. When we talk about your 30s and your 40s, ladies, that they set the stage for the health in the second part of your life. How you treat your body in your 30s and 40s. And let me be honest, a lot of times the reason why your body's breaking down around this age, or it feels as though your body's breaking down, because you spent so many years neglecting your body. You spent so many years eating, having a poor diet, dealing with tons of stress, not taking care of yourself, dealing with lots of inflammation, dealing with stressful relationships. You spent a lot of years putting other people first, not having boundaries. So now your body's like, your check engine light is on, right? And it's not telling you to put it it's not telling you to go take medications or put a whole bunch of synthetic hormones into your body. What it's telling you is to, no, get to the root cause of the problem. You got to start treating your body better, okay? So let's talk about it. So perimenopause is not something that's inevitable, okay? And for those that are new, if you're watching for the first time, hi and welcome. Let me make sure that I have it on only subscribers can comment on YouTube, because we don't want no bots today, okay? Welcome. If you guys are watching for the first time, my name is Sasha. I'm a holistic womb specialist, and what I do is I help women who have fibroids, help women dissolve their fibroids, not just shrink their fibroids, dissolve their fibroids, and also reverse all chronic reproductive health conditions. I do that through my womb detoxification framework that gets to the root cause of the problem, that gets to the root cause of the fibroids, of the endometriosis, of the ovarian cyst, okay? I'm all about root cause healing, not about putting bandages on your issues. I'm all about root cause healing, So we're talking about it today. Can somebody with, good morning, because somebody with ectopic pregnancy still have babies? They can, yes, they can. We have to get to the root cause of the problem. What's going on, right? Are we dealing with blocked tubes? Like, what's going on? So you have to address the deeper reason for that. Well, I would before trying again, okay? Okay, so what is it really? What is perimenopause really? When we're experiencing perimenopause, what is really going on in the body? And I appreciate the likes. Yes, please like the video again. And our goal is 15,000 likes, okay? So if you're dealing with perimenopause, right, your hormones are out of balance, right? And if you have fibroids, by default, your hormones are out of balance. If you are experiencing fibroids, ladies, and put a 1 in the chat again, if you're experiencing fibroids, whether you're watching from YouTube or TikTok, your hormones are out of balance, okay? I need you guys to know that, because a lot of women that have fibroids don't understand that fibroids is a full body issue. It's not just a uterine issue. It doesn't just affect your uterus. It affects your full body. Fibroids is a full body issue. As a matter of fact, if you guys can type that in the comments for me, that would be awesome. Fibroids is a full body issue. It's important for you to understand. So when you have fibroids, you're dealing with your digestive system is backed up. You're dealing with your liver's backed up. Your body's not filtering out toxins like it's supposed to. And it's important for you to understand that. A lot of women don't know. Number one, they don't understand. They just look at it as, oh, once the fibroids are gone, I'm healed. And that's not true. That's not true. Once you surgically remove the fibroids, and I did so many videos on that, so I'm not even gonna go down that road, right? But it's important for you to know that when you're dealing with fibroids, it's a lot more that's going on in the body. That's your body's check engine light coming on. When your body can develop a tumor, that's a serious situation. You have to take it seriously. You can't play around with that. If your body can develop a tumor in the uterus, it can develop a tumor anywhere. it could develop a tumor anywhere. So a lot of us take fibroids lightly because they're so common, but they're never normal. Just because they're common doesn't mean they're normal. So it's important for you to understand that, okay? So let's get into it today. So let's talk about what causes fibroids, okay? When you are, what causes endometriosis? No. What's wrong with me today? What causes perimenopause? Let's talk about that. Again, when you're dealing with fibroids, when you're dealing with perimenopause, we're already dealing with estrogen dominance. Okay, estrogen dominance. I talk about this all the time. If you have fibroids, your body's estrogen dominant. If you have ovarian cysts, your body's estrogen dominant. It is not, so that means your hormones are out of balance. And what perimenopause is, basically is estrogen dominance. Okay, is when your estrogen and progesterone levels they're out of balance. They're not working together like they're supposed to, right? The ratio is off. There's not enough progesterone to control the estrogen levels, okay? And that indicates that before your sex hormones can become out of balance, and I was talking about this, and if you read my email this morning that I sent out to my community, and if you're not on the email list, you need to get on the email list, by the way. The link is in my bio. If you read the email that I sent to my community, I made that very clear. I showed you guys the actual hormone hierarchy. So when it comes to your hormones, when it comes to fibroids, when it comes to your sex hormones, estrogen and progesterone, you can't even, so if the estrogen and progesterone are out of balance, if the sex hormones are out of balance, what does that indicate? That indicates that your foundational hormones are out of balance. So when you're talking about the sex hormones, estrogen and progesterone, you got to get to the root cause. What's causing the sex hormones to become out of balance? And that is the foundational hormones. You got to start there when it comes to balancing your hormonal, when you're putting your body into balance, restoring your hormonal balance. You have to start at the foundational hormones, which is cortisol and insulin. I talked about that. I showed y'all the diagram and everything if you were on my email list, okay? So if you're not on my email list, get on the email list, okay? So what is going on in your body when you're dealing with perimenopause and when you're dealing with fibroids? Because they're connected, okay? If you have fibroids, best believe your perimenopausal symptoms are going to be hell. They're going to be hell. Some of you guys are experiencing that right now. It's not a coincidence. And it's not just I have two different disorders or something like. No, it's because, again, your hormones are out of balance. Your body's dealing with lots of waste. So if we have fibroids, your elimination organs are congested. Your liver, the colon, the kidneys, the lymphatic system, these systems in your body cannot clear out waste effectively and efficiently. So everything is just backed up and just recirculating in your body. Okay, so when you have fibroids, that's what's going on. And when you have perimenopause, the same thing's going on in the body. Your body's filtration system is off. Your body's not filtering out waste like it's supposed to. In case you don't know, your body is meant to naturally detoxify itself. Your body has natural detoxification capabilities. And when you have fibroids, when you have ovarian cysts, when you are dealing with perimenopausal symptoms, which essentially mean hormonal imbalance, your body's not filtering out waste like it's supposed to, right? The filter is off. Something's blocking it. The abundance of waste in the body is blocking it. So what else is going on in the body when we have fibroids, when we have perimenopause? Your gut health is poor. It's backed up. And you guys know when you're dealing with this, when you guys are dealing with anemia, nutrient deficiencies, that means our gut is backed up. The body cannot absorb nutrients effectively, okay? So when you're dealing with hormonal imbalances, that means the gut is backed up as well, okay? So your gut is important for your health in general, but definitely is important for your hormonal balance. And a lot of women don't know and understand that, right? Your digestive system is super important, okay? And your digestive system and your womb is right. They work together side by side. So if there's a womb issues, there are digestive issues by default, okay? So we're also dealing with insulin resistance. Now, a lot of people don't understand and know this. If you are estrogen dominant, you're also dealing with insulin resistant. And the reason why women don't know this because they said that they took a blood sugar test and everything was okay. Now understanding and knowing their blood sugar will compensate for a while. The insulin in their body will compensate for a while before it reads that it's high. So you have to keep that in mind, okay? If you have fibroids, that means that we have high cortisol levels, and the cortisol is affected, so is the insulin, okay? By default, okay? Majority of people in the US have insulin issues, for sure. That's by so if you're watching me, you're in the US, you eat sugar, you can't sleep right, you need coffee to get through the day, that's the insulin issue. Because a lot of the reason why I have to keep saying that, because a lot of people don't understand what that looks like. They think just because they took a test and everything was okay, that means everything. No. And that's why your body's in this condition today. So it's important that you understand your body on a deeper level, okay? And Empower, thank you for the likes. Thank you. You lighten up the likes, and I love it. Our goal is 15,000 likes. Okay, ladies. So if you have perimenopause, if you're dealing with fibroids, and put a 1 in the chat if you're dealing with perimenopause and fibroids. I would like to know. Your body's also under chronic stress. And also too, if you're watching me from YouTube, put a 1 in the chat if you're dealing with perimenopause and fibroids. YouTube, don't be shy. I see you guys in the chat. Be sure to click the like button, okay? The thumbs up button. 1 at 37 years old. Okay. Thank you, Empowered. Okay. You too young. We got to get this straightened because we don't want to suffer for decades to come. We got to get this straightened now, okay? So you're in the right place. If you are dealing, so only one person that's watching me is having perimenopause and fibroid issues. Okay, everybody else is just shy. Okay. We're also dealing with chronic stress. If you have fibroids, your body's under stress. If your hormones are out of balance, your body's under stress. And you may say, okay, somebody said 49. Okay. You may say to yourself, well, I'm not stressed. Your body's under stress. So you have to ask yourself, what's keeping my body in a perpetual state of stress? And what's keeping my body in fight or flight mode? Why are my cortisol levels high? What's really going on with the body? Okay. So it's important that you may not feel as though you're stressed, because some people, like I said, they've operated in the stress so long that it just feels normal to them, right? But your body's under stress. So what's really going on? Okay. So what your body is doing is prioritizing cortisol over progesterone, because you don't need progesterone to live. Now you do need progesterone to feel good, for anxiety, we need progesterone for so many different reasons, right? To calm the anxiety levels, for a healthy menstrual cycle, for fertility, for healthy pregnancy. We do. Thank you so much, Miss Sweetie. Welcome. Thank you. We do need progesterone, but you don't need it to live. So your body will prioritize. If your cortisol level is high, your body will. That would cause your progesterone levels to shoot down. A lot of times when women are dealing with perimenopause, they think they just focus on estrogen levels. And it's not just that. They just focus on low estrogen. It's not just about low estrogen. It's about so if your estrogen is low, your progesterone is even lower. Your progesterone is even lower. So that's actually is affected first before cortisol levels. Okay. It's important that you understand that. So you got to get your body out of this perpetual state of stress. So, just like I said earlier, your hormones are responding to the environment. Your hormones are responding. Will you be doing another hormone masterclass? I'm not. Well, right now. However, thank you for the question, Mrs. Sweetie. I do have a course that I just launched that helps you completely restore your hormonal balance. That also helps you reverse perimenopausal symptoms, and that also helps you extend your biological clock. Because in case you guys don't know, I've helped multiple women over the age of 40 get pregnant, okay? So who had infertility issues before, FYI. So that course is called the 2026 Hormone and Womb Healing Bundle. The link is in my bio if you want more information about the bundle. If you're watching from YouTube, the link is in my description box, okay? So there's that. So your progesterone in your body, it's a responsive hormone. It's responding. Your progesterone does not just decline because you're 40 or you're 45. It's a responsive hormone. So it responds to you feeling safety, stability, calmness, nourishment, and flow. A lot of times, and especially with successful women, I know most of the women that watch me are successful. They're movers and shakers in their lives, whether they have families or whether they're single and they climbing the corporate ladder, they have businesses, or, they're successful, right? You guys are successful women. So a lot of times on that way to achieving success, we can neglect ourselves. We can neglect our bodies. We can neglect, we can, because of how society is set up, achieving success causes us to be mostly in our heads. We're constantly overthinking and trying to, formulate this and thinking about that, projects, reports, this and that, numbers, crunching numbers, all of this stuff. We're always here. And that kind of takes us out of being here, being in our body. So women that are, what this means, a lot of times when women are experiencing perimenopausal symptoms, fibroids, they are too much in their heads and they're not enough in their bodies. So it's important for you to understand that. So you have to start like learning how to be more in your body. Okay, if that makes sense. So we gotta get to know. We have to be more aligned with our bodies. We have to be more in our feminine. Not saying that you can't continue with your success, but it has to look differently, right? It just has to. You have to start actually prioritizing yourself and stop neglecting yourself, because as a matter of fact, that's gonna cause you, like I said, it's gonna cause you to break down in the future, right? You cannot continue on this road of not prioritizing yourself, of neglecting your hormones, of going against your natural ebbs, the ebbs and flows of your hormones. You can't continuously push past, just continue pushing your body and not listening to your body. You can't continue doing that. Your body will continue punishing you for that. Okay. So a lot of women are dealing with fibroids, are dealing with perimenopausal symptoms because they've ignored their bodies for so long. And you can't afford, once you have fibroids, once your body is showing you these perimenopausal symptoms, you can't afford to do that anymore. You cannot afford to do that anymore, okay? So let me read off like some very common perimenopausal symptoms. Put in one in the chat, whether you're watching from TikTok or YouTube, if you have any of these symptoms, okay? So failure to ovulate, and this is not all of them, but this is kind of a long list, but this is not all of them. And some of you guys may be watching, you may have some of these and not understand that they're perimenopausal symptoms, right? So breast tenderness, okay? Even on your cycle, that's never normal, y'all. That's a sign of low progesterone. I already said failure to ovulate, or you're not ovulating regularly. Hot flashes or night sweats, okay? Urinary incontinence. Higher risk of UTIs as well, if you get UTIs frequently. Changes in sexual function or desire. So low libido, fatigue and sleep issues with going to bed, insomnia, mood changes such as anxiety and depression, okay? Worsening PMS symptoms, cramps, IBS, bloating. None of that is normal, ladies. Unusual weight gain. If you're like, wait a minute, why am I just gaining weight and it's hard for me to lose it? Hair loss, heart palpitations, dry eyes and dry skin, headaches, brain fog or difficulty concentrating, okay? Feeling this tingling feeling in the hands or the feet, in the lower extremities, the electric shock feeling all the time, muscle aches or joint pain, worsening allergies. Allergies in general are estrogen dominant, so don't get me started on that, right? They're literally signs that your body's congested. Spotting before or after your period, okay? Ovulation pain, dizziness, anxiety, depression, feeling nausea, any type of abnormal period. So if you have an abnormal menstrual cycle, whether it comes too early, because you're supposed to be counting the days it takes to come. So whether it comes too early, that's a clear sign that we're dealing with perimenopausal symptoms, or it just comes when it feels like it. It skips this, it comes, it takes 35 days to come 1 month, and then the next month it comes in 23 days. The next month it comes twice a month. Like, it's just all over the place, right? Heavy menstrual cycles, especially if you have heavier menstrual cycles than before. Also, the brown bleeding, any type of brown blood. So if you have that brown, did a video on that on TikTok, it went viral. So many women think that is normal. They think that brown, when you actually restore your hormonal balance, you're not going to see brown blood anymore, right? That's liver congestion. That is a sign of perimenopause. Some women have days of brown blood. Your blood should be red, not dark red or bright red. Okay. So it's important that you pay attention to your period blood. I already said hot flashes, night sweats, sluggish metabolism. Like, your metabolism is not, it's not, you guys know, sluggish metabolism. It's hard for you to lose weight. Any type of thyroid issue, Memory loss. I said brain fog as well earlier. Skin issues, hives, eczema, acne. That's also a sign because hormones are going crazy. Fibroids are a sign of perimenopause symptoms. A lot of women, there's a huge number of women getting fibroids postmenopausal and during menopause and also during perimenopause. Okay. Another thing is ovarian cyst, polyps, uterine polyps or endometrial polyps, diminished ovarian reserve, difficulties with fertility, difficulties conceiving, and contrary to popular belief, let me make this very clear. You're supposed to be able to conceive all up and down your 40s. Okay? You're supposed to be able to conceive all up and down I don't care if you're 41 or 48 or 49, you're supposed to be able to conceive. Like fertility equals health. When you're not able to conceive, there's a reason why. Your body's under stress, your hormones are out of balance, there's a reason why. Don't let these doctors gaslight you and tell you it's unexplained fertility. It's never that. Okay, somebody said hair loss from me. I have many of these. Okay, so we have a lot of work to do. We got a lot. So those are the most common. Okay, so like I said earlier, energetically, a lot of times women are spending a lot of time in their head and not enough time. They're disconnected from their bodies. They're disconnected from even their menstrual cycles, right? A lot of women don't even know when they're ovulating. So a lot of women there's a disconnection from the body. And when you have a failure to turn off the anxiety in your head, the overthinking, when you fail to turn it off, that contributes to things like low libido, hormonal imbalances, burnout, high cortisol levels. It's important that you know that, okay? So you have to take a moment to learn. Like, this is why I teach my clients how to drop into their bodies, right? And get out of constantly being up here and overthinking, how to drop into their bodies. It's important that you know that. It's important as a woman that you know that, right? Because I know women, we got a lot going on. It could be like, especially nowadays, you know, you're killing it in your career. You are the go-to person in your family. You are the go-to person in your framework group. You know, you're helping this person. You're helping that person. You're doing everything for everybody. You're doing this. You have some of you guys have employees that work under you. You got to take care of everybody. Make sure everybody's good. But you're neglecting. In the process of doing that, you're neglecting yourself. And that's actually to your own detriment. That's to your own detriment. The older sister job is never done. Listen, tell me who could relate, but you turn it. I told them I've retired. Years ago, I told my siblings, I've retired. I didn't pick my birth order. I'm retired, okay? Y'all be good now. You guys don't allow people to punish you for your birth order. No. I didn't have these kids, okay? I'm the oldest of 4, so I get it. I didn't have these kids. Parents, that's your job. Goodbye. I'm living my life, okay? Like it's golden. You got to let them know, okay? You don't pick your birth order. Don't let them punish you for it, okay? Don't get me started. I could write a book on that. And it's crazy that a lot of my clients are either the only girls or they're the oldest daughter in their family. That says a lot. I'm not saying all, but a lot of women that have like fibroids and like hormonal issues and these uterine issues, a lot of times they're either the only girls in their family or they're the oldest or they were the person in the family that was responsible for everybody, typically. So you can't allow people to punish you for your success in life as well. Your success as a woman is in your being. It's not in your doing. Yes, we are out here building successful careers. We're out here building businesses. We're out here killing it. But that does not mean you don't focus, you neglect your health in the process. You don't neglect your health in the process. You can't do that. As a matter of fact, you can achieve more success and get more done when you're healthy. And you guys know that, when you're healthy, okay? And even if you don't feel it significantly now, you will feel it down the road. And like I said earlier, 30s and 40s, during your 30s and 40s, that sets the stage for the second half of your life, for your health in the second half of your life. So if you're messing up now and putting yourself last in your 30s and 40s, in your 50s and 60s and your 70s, you're going to go through hell. So you better get it straight now, okay? You got to get it together now. Facts, in my 20s, I didn't feel it, but at age 32, I felt it. Yeah. And when you guys are having these fibroids and these perimenopausal symptoms, your body is feeling the years of neglect. The years of neglect that in college and, you know, early adulthood, the years of under stress and not taking care of yourself, your body's starting to feel it now. But a lot of people think that once they turn 40, oh my God, my body just malfunctions and perimenopause. No. Let's not blame perimenopause, something that's actually does not have to happen. It's not inevitable. It happens to you when you're dealing with toxin overload and hormonal imbalances. That does not have to happen to you, but it will happen to you if you don't get your act together. Okay? So it's important for women to know. Women think that they have to go through certain things, and you don't. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to go through fibroids. You don't have to do that. And the beauty of our bodies is that it's resilient, and we can get it back to health. But you have to do the work. Okay? You can't just sit here and blame perimenopause and say, well, it's me. You're not a victim of your health. You're not. Okay? You got to be a participant in getting your body healthy. So if you don't get in front of what's going on with your body now, if you're dealing with fibroids or perimenopause, you're going to feel it significantly physically, mentally, and emotionally. You're going to feel it. Okay? And you will continue to chase the next diet, chase the next herb, chase the next hormone test. And some of y'all are doing that now. Chase the next specialist. Y'all will, like I said, continuously and never heal because you know why? Because you're not getting to the root cause of the problem. You got to get to the root, okay? One thing will work for a period of time, but then it will stop working because you haven't gotten to the root cause. So this is why when you guys ask me about herbs, when y'all ask me about, oh, yoni steaming and this, none of that is getting to the root cause of the problem. I'm not saying not to do those things. Please do them. But what are you doing to get to the root? What are you doing to address these hormone issues at the root cause? What are you doing to get your body out of a state of stress? What are you doing to lower the inflammation? A lot of us, not all, but some of us don't want to change our lifestyle and diet and our way of living our lives. We just want to kind of stay in our toxicity, stay in our comfort zone, and expect our bodies to heal. It's not going to happen. I promise you, it's just not. Okay? So you got to get deep and understand what's really going on in your body. Or you will be tied to decades of suffering. Women are suffering in their 30s. And you know, women that are going through perimenopause in their 40s, guess what? It's happening to women in their 30s now. And doctors are saying, oh, it's perimenopause. Oh, now they're trying to move the goalposts and say, oh, it happens to some women as early as their 20s. No, it doesn't. That's hormonal imbalance. That's toxin overload. It's the same thing. Some women feel it earlier than others. Sometimes some women feel the effect, like some women don't get fibroids until they're 45. Some women get fibroids at 25, you know? But it's the same thing. Your body's under a state of stress. Your body's highly inflamed. Your hormones are out of balance. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. In the same way we get to the root cause of the problem, we can dissolve them. We can shrink and dissolve them and also restore our hormonal balance. And like I said earlier, just like perimenopause is a full body issue, so are fibroids is a full body issue. So if you have both, like when I was reading off the symptoms, if you have a lot of these things or even one or two of these things, you got to get it together. You got to get this together. You got to get this together. Thank you, Billionaire Marva, for liking the video and sharing. I appreciate that. Y'all don't forget to share. And I'm going to tell you how to start approaching perimenopausal symptoms and also your fibroids as well. But you got to get to the root cause of the problem, right? It's not going to be just gimmicks and tricks and all that stuff. You guys have to stop, get out of that. So it's not natural aging. It's not genetics, y'all. It's your lifestyle. It's a direct result of your lifestyle. And we live in a society where women are disconnected from their bodies, where that teaches women to rely on external solutions like the herbs. Well, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying that, again, you can't just take one pill and think everything's going to be healed. That's not how health works. So you're taught to lean on pharmaceuticals, on fake hormones, because this is why they're promoting HRTs now. The fake hormones, that's really what they are. And with these cancer rates going up, y'all need to do your research and stop pumping yourself with fake hormones and get to the root cause of the problem. Progesterone creams, all of this stuff. And high stress lifestyles, none of that supports long-term health. None of those things supports the long-term health of your endocrine system. None of that. So it's important that you understand that. You can't just think about your health and how you feel today. What about your health in a year from now, 10 years from now, okay? We're going to talk about that IDK. So, again, also too, I talked about this earlier. Perimenopause, one of the biggest myths of perimenopause is that it's just the estrogen issue, and it's not just the estrogen issue. As a matter of fact, progesterone declines first before estrogen declines, okay? I'm almost 1 month post-op open myomectomy. Oh, I'm so sorry. I wish you would have found me before the myomectomy, but you're here, okay? And you need to be doing everything that you can do to make sure that they don't grow back, okay? Everything in your power to make sure they don't grow back, okay? If you have fibroids, I need you to know that you're already, this is anybody, because I know most women that watch me have fibroids. You need to know that your body is estrogen dominant. And we talked about estrogen dominant earlier. Your body is highly estrogen dominant, which means that there's not enough progesterone to balance the estrogen levels, which means that a series of our hormones are out of balance, which means that how you approach it is not just, you know, it's not just addressing the estrogen levels. It's about getting to the foundational level, foundational hormones, which I said earlier are cortisol and insulin. Because if we have fibroids, if we're estrogen dominant, that means the cortisol, the foundational hormones have been affected first before we even can get to the sex hormones. You can't touch the sex hormones until you get to the reason why the sex hormones are out of balance. And if you are on my email list, I broke that down. If you guys are not on my email list, get on my email list, okay? The link is in my bio. So that's important that you need to know. You also are dealing with, hold on, before I get in. That's my biggest fear and focus. I need to rebuke them from my body. It's not, I get it. As somebody that had fibroids grow back after surgery, and many women, I would say hundreds over the years have told me they grew back after the surgery. Some of you guys watching, you grew the fibroids back after surgery. I know, that's why I tell you not to have the surgery, because the surgery sets you up for more surgery. I know that that it is scary, but you have to understand that the surgery is not the answer. You doing the work is the answer. You get into the root cause of the problem. That's the answer. It's not about the surgery, because the surgery just takes out the fibroid. It doesn't take out the condition that causes the fibroid. Fibroids is a full body issue, okay? So if you're dealing with fibroids, you're dealing with clogged up elimination organs, the liver is overloaded, the gut is overloaded, the body's not metabolizing waste like it's supposed to, it's keeping waste in. This is why you're able to grow tumors, right? It's keeping toxins in your body. Your body, that's supposed to be expelled from your body. So it's just recirculating, right? So when we have fibroids, when we're dealing with perimenopause, we got to support our organs to do their job. We have to deeply support our organs, our liver, our kidneys, because when we have these issues, our body's filtration system is off. It's off. Our gut is backed up, right? Like I said earlier, this is why a lot of you guys have anemia. Your body can absorb, when you're dealing with gut health issues, your body can't absorb iron and other nutrients like appropriately. It just can't. That's why you'll go from iron infusion to iron infusion, and your iron still gets low. Your body's not absorbing that. So it's important that you know that, right? You're also dealing with, if you have fibroids or perimenopause, you're also dealing with chronic inflammation, okay? That's important. You have to understand that chronic inflammation, your body's highly inflamed. Your body's in a state of stress and it's inflamed when we have these issues. Your body does not develop tumors for no reason. That's one thing you have to understand. Your body does not develop tumors, uterine tumors, for no reason. So the environment in your body created those things to happen. They didn't come out of nowhere. That's something you have to understand, okay? And like I said, I'm gonna keep repeating it because it has to get through your head, because a lot of people don't know that and can't conceptualize this. They look at the tumor as the problem. That's why y'all keep signing up for these surgeries. You guys are looking at the tumors as the problem, and that's not the problem. Fibroids is a full body issue. It's not just a uterine issue. Again, the gut is backed up. The lymphatic system is congested. We're dealing with the liver's overloaded. The kidneys ain't filtering like they're supposed to. Our elimination organs are backed up. Our hormones are out of balance. We're dealing with estrogen dominance. So it's a lot going on before the fibroids even develop. And like I said in one of my TikTok videos, your body showed you signs before they developed. A lot of you guys didn't recognize that they were signs. Okay, because we're taught, especially if you live in the States, and just honestly at this point, if you anywhere at this point, but especially if you live in the States, we're not taught to prevent sickness. We're taught to just deal with it when it comes, and not even the right way, So and your doctor is taught intervention. They're not taught prevention. They're not taught healing. They're not taught getting to the root cause of the problem. Okay, so there's that. So how do we prevent and reverse perimenopause? Let's talk about it. Okay, let's talk about it. Okay, because number one, we have to heal these elimination organs. So we have to start working with, not against our body, with our body. The liver, the kidneys, the lymphatic system, support our lymphatic system, support our gut. We got to start working with our systems. We have to start detoxifying them because they're congested. They're backed up. So we have to start working with our system. I'm not talking about going on a detox. I'm talking about getting your system, your body to the point where it's detoxifying itself daily. Your body should be detoxifying itself daily. That's how we were made. So if your body's not doing that, that's a problem. And you know the signs that when your body's not doing that appropriately. Okay. That has to be done. You have to also support the gut. You have to support the gut, your gut health. That's a must. And you have to work with the foundational hormones first, the cortisol and insulin levels. You have to work with, balance those first before you even address the sex hormones. You can't just say, I want to, lower. A lot of women that have fibroids, they always, and I did a video about this as well. There's a constant talks about the estrogen levels, not understanding that if the estrogen is out of balance, so is a series of other hormones. But first we got to get to the foundational hormones. Okay. That's important. So it's not just about estrogen. It's about a series of hormones, the main hormones, the foundational hormones first, working with those first, the cortisol and insulin. Okay, like I said, I broke that down in my my email this morning that I sent out. So we have to, I talked about detoxifying the body, reducing the toxin overload in the body, supporting your body's natural elimination organs. That's important. You cannot, like I said, a lot of us have been neglecting our bodies for years and expect it to work perfectly. No, it doesn't work like that. It catches up with you. Okay. So you also have to address your emotional patterns, right? So if you have by default, if you have fibroids, if you have these womb issues, you are storing a lot of emotional trauma. Okay. So fibroids don't just come, they don't happen randomly. You have to ask yourself, what am I holding on to emotionally? What have I suppressed emotionally? Okay. So also, there has to be, you have to start managing your stress levels. You have to start regulating the nervous system, which is really important. Getting the body out of fight or flight, getting in the body in a space where, it can be in a parasympathetic mode. They call it the parasympathetic mode, right? Getting your body in a place where it can rest. It's not in this constant state of stress, right? That's important. So regulating the nervous system. You gotta work with your body as a whole and stop working with your body as everything is separate, right? We were taught, like, Western medicine teaches you that everything is separate. So a lot of you guys, when you have fibroids, it's very rare that women just have fibroids. They typically have fibroids in another health condition, whether it's fibroids in IBS, fibroids in endometriosis, or fibroids in cyst, or fibroids in anemia. It's typically fibroids in something else, because fibroids, it means that your body's compromised. It's a full body issue. So, and if it hasn't happened, if you don't address your fibroids, it will happen. So it's important for you to work with your body as a whole and not separate. Okay. So it's not just about you taking the progesterone cream or you drinking the herb or you just taking the test. It's about you actually addressing the root causes. Okay. That is key. You cannot address anything if you don't address what caused your fibroids to develop, what caused your hormones to become out of balance. You got to get to the root of it. the beginning of what happened. Where was the breakdown in your body? So it's you stop looking for tips and tricks as far as hacks and this. No, get to the root and do yourself a favor and actually address the problem full on, not halfway, not surface level, full on. Okay. So does anybody have any questions? For those of you that are interested and you actually want to be taken through the whole hormone healing process, I do have a full course on this that I just released called my 2020. And for those of you that are new, I've helped hundreds of women over the years, not just shrink their fibroids, dissolve their fibroids, reverse chronic reproductive health conditions such as endometriosis, adenomyosis, ovarian cysts, PCOS, and also help women get pregnant naturally. You can look at our testimonials, okay, if you haven't already. So I just released a course that covers that's called the 2026 Hormone and Womb Healing Bundle, that covers hormonal balance, that covers reversing your estrogen dominance, that takes you through the whole process, that helps you through the whole process of that. Okay, that helps you heal your womb, and it does include not just a complete training on the hormone hierarchy and how it works, but also how to balance and restore your hormonal balance. Okay, it comes with more than a few video trainings plus PDF trainings, and a PDF that helps you with practical daily shifts to do to keep your hormones in balance. Also, a deep dive on how fibroids contribute to more serious health conditions such as estrogen dominant cancers like uterine cancer, ovarian cancer. I covered that in another live stream. But also how to prevent perimenopause. For those of you that haven't experienced the symptoms yet that I read off earlier, it talks about how to prevent it and also how to reverse it. Okay, it gives you practical application. It helps you through the process of applying this stuff, right? It gives you what you have to do, what that has to be changed. It's straight to the point. And also too, for those of you that want to get pregnant or just you want to prolong the health of your uterus, prolong the health of you, because if uterus is not healthy, you're not healthy. We also have how to extend your biological clock. Okay, I've helped many women in their 40s get pregnant, even though women think that their fertility expires at 35. That's not true. Not when your body is healthy. When you are hormonally balanced, like I said, you can have a baby in your 40s. You can, whether you want, or I know not everybody wants to, but I'm just saying the option is there. Okay, if that's what you desire, or your late 30s, you know. Any questions? I don't see any questions, but I want to say this. Listen, hopefully this is educational. You guys learned a lot today. When it comes to perimenopause, you don't have to experience that. But if you have fibroids, you will. That's why it's important to start doing the work now. Start doing the work now. If you have fibroids, you will experience the hell they call perimenopause. You don't want to. So you got to do the work now to get to the root cause of the problem, to restore your hormonal balance, to get rid of these fibroids so that your body's not in a constant state of imbalance and toxin overload. That's what's causing the hormonal collapse they call perimenopause. It does not just happen because of your age. And what I want you guys to do is study the difference between biological age and chronological age, because they're two very different things. Biological age is the age of the health of your organs. It has to do with the age of your body internally, because that is not the same a lot of times as your chronological age. Is just how many years you've been on this earth. It's not the same. So it's a reflection of your organs. It's a reflection of the health, like your health. So you have to ask yourself, you can't, a lot of people just look at them both as the same, and it's not. Two 40-year-olds are not built the same. You can have one 40-year-old with fibroids, heavy bleeding, thinning hair, hormones all out of balance, you know, talking about perimenopause, and you can have another 40-year-old that's a completely healthy womb, you know, she's not on any medication, hormones are in balance, you know, in shape, totally different. So, like, we have to stop thinking that it's just age. It's just chronological age, okay? It's about your health. It's not about your age. All right, and bad health is, I would say your age is never an excuse for bad health. That's another thing too. Your age is never an excuse for bad health. All right? That's all. Thank you, Billionaire Marva, again. empowered. Jessica, all of you guys that helped me get to 10,000 plus likes, I appreciate you. I hope that you guys have a beautiful day. If you guys are ready to completely reverse, you're welcome, Andrea. Hopefully this was helpful, because y'all was kind of quiet today, but hopefully it was helpful, okay? And it helped. And if the replay, make sure that you guys are on my email list, so you know when I'm going live again. And also too, when I start to break down, do my breakdowns, you guys can have access to that, okay? Get on the email list. Get on the email list, okay? If you're not on the email list, get on the email list. And for those that are subscribed to Sacred Womb Letters, I broke down perimenopause so much, and because I also like to do my articles on Sacred Womb Letters. So if you guys haven't subscribed to that, subscribe. If you're watching me from YouTube, the link is in my bio. But also subscribe to my email list, okay? As well. And if you guys are interested in the bundle on reversing perimenopause, on balancing your hormones. If you want to work with me, by the way, we have our 6-week womb healing experience, which is our 6-week program that's open. We start on the 19th of this month, on January. We already have women in there, so I'm excited. We do have more spots open, so the link is in my bio. If you guys are interested in actually working with me, if you guys would like a self-study course, my 2026 hormone and womb healing bundle, that will get you right. Get them hormones in balance. It's 2026. Nobody should be complaining about perimenopause or hormonal imbalances. No, nobody that follows me, okay? Your first time, welcome, Sue. Welcome, ladies. I'm happy that you guys are here. Again, get on the email list, and that's pretty much it. You guys have a beautiful rest of your day, all right? Bye. Bye, ladies.